Smash, you know. Well, it's there. Bollocks. Well, I can, alright. Fucking me. Pick up, you bastards! Is there anyone there?
Yes, see.
Nerd Nite! Right ahead!
What's happening?
If you can see Alma Rain, you'll come with me.
Midnight, where the stars and you. Midnight, and a rendezvous. Your arms held a message tender, saying I surrender.
Look! The hat's back! Let's see if it'll make Frosty alive again.
Happy birthday!
Jess?
Hey, I said my first words.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Are we ready to rock? Are we ready to roll? Am I on camera, Jay? All right, welcome everybody to Nerd Night Asheville. Our very first live stream of the literal best nerd night in the world, am I right? And it's because of all of you. And me. All right. So welcome to Nerd Night. Has anyone never been to a Nerd Night before? All right. Handful of you. Well, you picked a hell of a time to come for the first time. It's a little you're getting a little extra tonight. Just a little extra. A little special. Little taste of something, little flavor. All right. So if you're not familiar, Nerd Night is like the Discovery Channel, but with beer. Back when the Discovery Channel showed educational programming. So I'm Vaughn. I'm your host. love you too. I love you too. And you know what else I love? Star Trek. Moving on. So the origin story, which I'm sure I'm going to tell incorrectly, but this is how I tell it, Matt. You can give me notes later. It's kind of an urban legend at this point. So it begins with a guy named Chris, seen here, drinking beer in a Midway bar in Boston, circa 2003. Chris studied a particular bird in Cameroon called the indigo bird. Anyone heard of the indigo? Oh. I mean, you might look at this bird and think it's a sweet bird, but no. It's a mean, mean bird. It's a mean bird that lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, and when the indigo bird babies hatch, they kick out the host bird's babies and leave the host bird to raise the indigo bird's babies. And I believe Chris, yeah, what a jerk. And I believe Chris added at some point that the indigo bird babies take on characteristics of the host bird babies. Is that accurate? Only the mouth? That's the important part for a baby. The markings inside the mouth. Oh, crafty. Crafty fucking bird, isn't it? All right. So Chris would return to the Midway bar in Boston to talk about the mean, mean indigo birds of Cameroon. And he would tell the story of the mean indigo birds of Cameroon to all of his friends one at a time. And finally, the bartender said, "Chris, enough. You are boring us to tears. Get everybody together and tell them the story one time." And thus, Nerd Night was born. Hey! And then Matt Wazowski, seen here in the flesh, brought Nerd Night to New York City, and now we are all over the fucking place. Hey! So not all of these shows are active all at the same time, but this is all of the places Nerd Night has been, is, and hopefully will continue to be in the future. And guess what? The only single criterion that qualifies you to run a Nerd Night show is seeing a Nerd Night show. So if you move somewhere, congratulations, you can be a Nerd Night boss too. Hey! Anna Moraine! All right. Quick announcement. We have t-shirts. Seen on Jill here, Jared here, who wore a different shirt for the first time. He owns 2 shirts, everybody. So we have original recipes seen on Jared, and we have Machete Bear. Who's got the machete? Machete Bear seen over here. Yes. We're going to talk about Machete Bear a little later. She's our mascot here at Nerd Night Asheville. We have Machete Bear stickers. Printed by Super Rob, the super sign guy, who's also printed all of these fabulous signs. Feel free to wave them during the show to show your spirit, your Alamoraine spirit. And stickers are available, $3 at the door. High quality stuff printed by the super sign guy. And I want to thank, as always, my guys and the crew, the River Arts District Brewing Company. Where are my guys? Where are my guys? Sean and Lim, where the hell are you? Lim's over here. I put him there. Where's Sean? Sean's over there. Hey, these are my guys, the most supportive partners I could ever hope for, and they're wonderful bar staff. So thank you guys for believing in a nerd with a dream, and this is your fault. All right. And of course, thank you, nerds. You wonderful, beautiful nerds who have been shouting "A la Moraine" for over 2 years without entirely knowing why. Tonight, we have the co-boss of Nerd Night Fort Collins. I am just realizing now I did not ask you to pronounce your last name. Is it Van Loan? Got it. Alamarine, Senna Van Loan, presenting Quantum Revolution at ultra cold temperatures, which inspired the trailer video created by Marjorie Lewitt, who is presenting Real Life Frogger. Can we hear it for that amazing intro video? So Marjorie hosts Nerd Night Hudson Valley, New York, and she makes these trailers for her shows every month. Amazing stuff, absolutely mind-blowing. And then we have the big boss man himself, Matt Wazowski, with weird and potentially breakable world records. A crowd pleaser that will involve your butts. And then our extra special guest, here for one night only. Michael Cole, the creator of Extra Lives, is here. The audience-led Choose Your Own Adventure RPG, where you are the main character. You're not fucking ready. I am so excited. All right, presenting ideas. If most of you know the drill. Got an idea? Fucking email me. All right. Friendly heckling is encouraged if you... On the Moraine. All right. So, for the three of you who have never been here before, this is not a classroom. This is a bar. It is okay to engage with the presenters as long as you do it in a friendly and not too loud way. So, at various points throughout the show, you may hear people yelling things like, "Don't panic. It's okay. We're in a bar. It's fine." Friendly heckling is encouraged. If you got something to say, as long as it's supportive and in good fun, it is allowed. And with that, we do have a rallying cry here at Nerd Night Asheville, and it goes like this. Oh my God. That's a little loud. Even for me, my goodness. All right. So, normally I would just say, you don't know what it means? Fucking cope. But, in the spirit of global community, I normally only explain this once a year, but I'm going to break that rule because, some people may not be here in April because you live in fucking Kathmandu or wherever. So I'm going to break my rule just this once and explain it twice a year. So, wherefore art thou, a la Moraine? In brief, it's from Star Trek, of course, Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 10, Move Along Home, aka the one where everyone gets trapped in a space board game. Yeah, space board game. All right, so in brief, these stick-loving aliens come to DS9.
Pigs, highly sought in our culture. They have many different uses.
Ooh, many different uses. So they fucking love sticks and games. And then this fucking guy cheats them. They're not happy. And so they trap the senior staff of Deep Space Nine in a space board game. And the gang must solve goofy puzzles to progress through the space board game, leading to this absolutely iconic scene.
Alamarin, count to 4. Alamarin,
Count to 4, Alamarin, then 3 more. Alamarin, if you can see. Alamarin, you'll come with me.
Alamarin, you'll come with me.
And our rallying cry. So that's the story in brief. And now that you know the story, can I get an Alamarin on 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Fuck yeah. All right. So with that, I would like to invite our first presenter to the stage from Fort Collins, Colorado. Give it up for Senna Von Loan.
Wow, thank you. Oh yeah, pardon while I change applications. I'm very sorry. No, so I'm so nerdy that I make my slides in LaTeX. If you've ever seen it, It's pretty much like coding a presentation. It's amazing. All right. So, are you ready to get cold? Yeah? All right, I'm going to try to teach you something about quantum mechanics. And before I do that, I have to show you this. So this is Max Planck. He was the bringer of quantum mechanics. And so, as you can see, before quantum mechanics, he was kind of a nice guy. During, he kind of went crazy. Afterwards, he was bald. So you can still leave if you... This is the moment. I'll give you like 10 seconds. If you want to leave right now at home, you can click away. If not, here we go. So Max Planck actually was told at the end of the 19th century that physics was solved. There were like a few simple problems left, but pretty much everything was done. And then he went bald. So it was actually not solved, and then quantum mechanics became a thing. And Richard Feynman famously said, if you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. And so we actually have, we have no idea how it actually works or why it works the way it does. But still, it's crucial to our current technological landscape. We couldn't have, what do I have here? Solar panels without knowing quantum mechanics, LED lighting. Our phones work because of quantum mechanics. And so we know how to use it, we just don't understand it. But I'm going to try to explain a little bit of it. But so this was called the first quantum revolution when they were coming up with this new theory. And we started using quantum mechanics even though we don't understand it. The second quantum revolution kind of started with so-called superconductors, which are materials that don't have any electrical resistivity. So you can put a current through it and there's no loss of electricity. It was first observed in 1911, so that's around the time that Planck was around, at very, very low temperatures. So it started with mercury, but it was 1957 before the first theory was available, and even that was just to explain mercury and not really the superconductors we have right now. And we still don't have a full theory for it yet. Currently, the highest confirmed record is about minus 23 Celsius, minus 9 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not that cold. I've biked to work in that temperature. The main problem is that it's at very, very high pressure. So at atmospheric pressure, it's actually much colder, and I definitely don't want to bike to work in minus 200 Fahrenheit. There are some disputed claims around, but probably the minus 23 is what we have to work with. So this is just a picture of two superconductors. They can levitate, pretty cool. The other picture here, the superconductor is in here, and they get squashed between two diamonds, because that's the only way to get this very high pressure needed to make these superconductors. All right, so that's the second quantum revolution, which we're currently in. We're trying to manipulate these quantum mechanical properties to make things like superconductors, but also other things, quantum technologies, we call them. Quantum cryptography, quantum computing, quantum metrology, where we try to measure things very precisely. So you can pretty much just put quantum in front of everything, and we're trying to do it. All right. So now it's time to get cold, because I want to explain how a superconductor works. So let's start with just the temperature. If we're at a normal temperature, well, I guess this is, let's say, minus 5 degrees. We have a solid block of ice. If we warm it up, we get a liquid. If you warm it up even more, we get a gas. Some of you might have heard of plasmas, which are phases at very high temperatures, but we're going to go to very low temperatures. And there's what's a Bose-Einstein condensate happens, developed by these two guys called Bose and Einstein, you probably know. And there's this collective behavior of particles that's related to superfluidity. The picture here is an actual superfluid, and so it's related to superconductivity. It's really just, a superconductor is a superfluid of charged particles like electrons. And so before I continue, I want to tell a little bit of backstory about me. As you might hear about my accent, I'm not from the US. I'm actually from Belgium, and my mother tongue is Flemish. And Thank you. All right, I'm done. In Flemish, boze means angry. So whenever I would talk to my friends about my research, it was like, why is Einstein angry about this? All of this was before the time of AI, but now I could finally make a picture of an angry Einstein. Alan Moraine. This picture I made a couple years ago at the first Nerd Night for Collins, where I presented this as well. Now I try to do it again with ChatGPT. This is a scientist who looks like Einstein. It's not Einstein because ChatGPT didn't want to do that. Gemini did want to do Einstein that's angry, but I didn't think he was angry enough, so I asked, can you make him angrier? And then that's what it did. And then I asked even angrier, a little bit, and then I asked to make him more angry, and then it was just, I think he's angry enough. That's exactly what Gemini said. Well, anyway, so if you want to think about this new phase, Bose-Einstein condensate, just think of an angry Einstein. So here's where the real quantum mechanics comes in. The particle-wave duality is really at the core of all of quantum mechanics. And it just says that all matter can be described equivalently as matter or as waves. So you can think of light is probably the best example. Solar panels work because we can describe light as particles. It's the only way we can understand solar panels. But you also know that light is a wave. For example, if you put it through a prism, there's diffraction. So that's a wave character of light. And it turns out that this wavelength, so the width of this wave packet, is decided by temperature. And it's inversely related to it. So if you lower the temperature, you widen the wave packet. It's kind of the idea. So at low temperatures, this wave character becomes really important. Don't worry, I only have 2 slides with equations. This is one of them. Okay, so let's try to explain Bose-Einstein condensation. Let's take a box and put some particles in it. It's probably very hard to see, but there are some red dots in this box which represent the particles. And so, yeah. So at high temperature, let's say room temperature, we're just in classical, we don't have quantum mechanics yet, but we'll lower the temperature. So let's see if this works. Okay. So as you can see, kind of this wave character of the particles becomes more and more important. So at some critical temperature, the quantum effects become visible. So we lower the temperature even more and more and more. And then there is this critical temperature where Bose-Einstein condensations start to happen. These wave characters become so important that these waves start to overlap. And so at some point, we can't really distinguish the particles anymore. And they just overlap and overlap and overlap until there is one big wave function and all the particles are Bose-Einstein condensed. So it's really this idea where we can't really distinguish each single particle anymore. There's just this big thing, blob of a Bose-Einstein condensate, so the angry Einstein. Another way to think of it is people at a concert. At a festival, everyone, if the music's not playing, everyone's just moving between each other. But once the music starts, everyone starts moving along a single wave, and that single wave is the Bose-Einstein condensate. So all these people are angry Einsteins. All right. One more thing about quantum mechanics is there's 2 different kinds of particles. There's bosons and fermions. Bosons, you know from Bose, the not angry Einstein. That guy thought about bosons. Fermions came from a guy called Fermi. So the main thing is that bosons can occupy the same quantum state and fermions cannot. An example of a boson is a light particle. If this laser pointer, all of the light particles in are red, so they have the same color, so they have the same energy. They can do that because they're bosons. Fermions, you might know electrons that are in shells around an atom. That's because they cannot be in the same energy state because they're fermions. Okay, here's the last couple equations. It's pretty easy. If you combine 2 bosons, you get another boson. If you combine a boson and a fermion, you get a fermion. And if you get a fermion and a fermion, you get a boson again. Okay, so To give an example, for example, helium-2, it has 2 neutrons, 2 protons, 2 electrons. All of them are fermions, so that's 6 in total, but actually that's a boson if you look at the atom. Lithium-6, I'm showing here, it has 9 in total, so that's a fermion. So let's forget about all of this internal structure. Let's take this fermion, lithium-6, put it in a box at high temperature. And we're going to lower the temperature. And at some point, again, quantum effects become visible. We lower the temperature, and we can get pretty much all the way to 0, but this Pauli exclusion principle kicks in, and it prohibits the waves to overlap. So there's no possibility of these fermions to get into a Bose-Einstein condensate. So I made this presentation for the first time during my PhD defense, and that was in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so I called this social distancing of the particles. All right. But I told you that superconductors are like a superfluid of electrons, and electrons are fermions. So how is this possible? It turns out that there's this theory of these 3 guys, Bardeen, Cooper, and Schrieffer, who said, well, what if they just pair up? And they can form so-called Cooper pairs. And as you know, a fermion plus a fermion is a boson. And so it turns out that these fermion pairs can make a condensate. So we take lithium-6 in 2 different quantum states. We don't care about the internal structure. We take a blue one and a red one. And we, again, put them in a box. So we start with classical particles in a box. But now, it's probably better visible here. Now we have a blue one and a red one. So at some point, quantum effects become visible. We lower the temperature. And at some point, they start pairing. So there's this blue and red overlapping wave here because these fermions have formed pairs that turn out to be bosons. And so at some point, there's this critical temperature for Bose-Einstein condensation, and we lower the temperature. And at 0 temperature, again, there's this overlapping of all the waves, and we get a full condensate of fermion pairs. And so this would be a superconductor. So if it was social distancing before, this might be an orgy of different fermions. And so it's not an angry Einstein. I think it would look more like this. All right. So now you know how a superconductor works. Why should we care? And so the main thing is this Bose-Einstein condensation. It can really be applied to many of these different quantum technologies. So this is a superconductor, but you can think of MRI machines, for example. They actually already have superconductors in them. And the reason why they make so much noise is because they have to be cooled down to very low temperatures. But they can also be used in things like tokamaks, where they try to study nuclear fusion to get clean energy. We can make supercomputers with them. We can do quantum cryptology. So that's all examples of why you should care about superconductivity. But I think the main reason is that it's Nerd Night. And we care about science, and we want to learn about science. Alan Moraine, thank you very much.
Here, let me take this. We're going to keep this up until we finish our Q&A for Senna. Can I get a hand up for Senna? Senna von Loon. Alan Moraine. All right, any questions? We got so many questions. All right, let's start with Tavi. Why are they called Cooper pairs? What happened to the what? What happened to the other 2?
Yeah, Cooper was the first to come up with the pairing, and then Bardeen, Cooper, and Schrieffer came up with the theory of the condensation of it all.
All right, over here. If it's a fermion plus a fermion, is it the only way you can get a superconductor? What about a boson plus a boson?
Yeah, it turns out that the only way to get a superconductor is to have electrons do this. And electrons are always fermions. You cannot have a bosonic fermion, electron. So that's why they have to be combined with 2 of them.
Birthday girl, Jess. CERN? Just altogether? All right, tell us about the Higgs boson collider.
Okay, that's another Nerd Night talk. That's actually, so the boson part of that is the exact same thing. They call it a Higgs boson because it is a boson. Other than that, it's completely irrelevant to what I was talking about here. Thank you for that question.
Jess, do you not remember my extremely scientific talk about ketamine infusion therapy and the Higgs boson? I mean, I got all into it because I was an expert from all the ketamine. All right, over here. Oh, why did you choose this as your field of study?
I was interested in physics from a pretty young age, and so straight out of high school, I went to physics, and I just wanted to, I like equations. I wanted to, I could, like, these images I showed you, that's not what I was doing. I was just writing down equations every day, and that's what I love. That being said, I'm actually not doing this anymore. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Tell them what you're doing now.
Well, currently I'm an atmospheric scientist. I work in climate change.
He's the one raking in all those big climate change dollars. All right, everybody, please give it up for Set Up on Loan, Nerd Night, Fort Collins. And I need just 1 second to switch my software back. Acrobat will let me escape. And there we go. A la Marine. All right. Set Up on Loan. Okay. Up next, we have the creator of that riveting experience that introduced you to tonight's show, inspired by the quantum revolution at ultra cold temperatures. Both a frog enthusiast and a filmmaker, and boss of Nerd Night Hudson Valley. Please give it up for Marjorie Lewitt.
And let's hear it for Vaughn. Hello. Yes, I'm Marjorie. Ooh. I'm the Nerd Night Hudson Valley boss. So I am using a clicker. I'm going to give a talk tonight on my favorite class of animals, which are also one of the most important, amphibians. I am a writer-director. I am a volunteer for the Department of Environmental Conservation and the Hudson Highlands Land Trust, which is in the Hudson Valley, New York. It's going to be a little bit different up there than it is here, but I'm just going to give you as much information as I can about New York. So I stress volunteer. As a writer-director, you might wonder, how did I get into amphibians and the amphibian migration? That all goes back to a little old movie. First of all, I do love Animal Crossings. This is a movie I did, a 3-minute film that just showed at the Charlotte Film Festival. A whole 3 minutes, I'm not gonna show it tonight, but this is just about how a deer crossed a road and what happened. And then what inspired me to get into migration, what inspired me to get into filmmaking was E.T. A lot of people forget that E.T. is a pro-amphibian film. It's all about catch and release. If you love something, let it go. Let's take a look. Yeah, so this definitely inspired me, so influential to my sense of wonder, to my interest in filmmaking and films in general, and to my love of frogs. I told myself I wanted to be like Elliot, that I would never be this girl. But she's really cute. So a little bit, there I am. This is spring of last year. That's a bucket with 3 little peepers, if you can see them. 1, 2, 3. And a frog. And the bucket on the right is from my catch and release from when I was in Germany. Huge, big night. So a little bit about frogs and amphibians. Well, this is from a 1972 horror movie. Okay. So amphibians are an indicator species. We can tell a lot about our ecosystem based on their presence, absence, or abundance. They are in danger, and that's due to climate change, which Senna can talk about, pollution. There's also this disease called chytrid fungus, which is depleting populations, habitat loss, and road crossing, just fatalities from cars. They're cold-blooded. They hibernate in the winter. And when temperatures get low enough and during late fall, early winter, they freeze. 2/3 of the water in their body freezes. So they burrow under a bunch of leaves, and this is just for fun. The one on the right is a statue, it's not real. In real life, they'll be under a bunch of leaves, and you won't really see them. If they do get uncovered, they'll just kind of do a couple circles and burrow deeper, or they'll find a new place and then they'll freeze again. Basically this happens through a type of suspended animation through producing a type of glucose antifreeze. Amphibians, so then spring comes. Their heart begins again. It gets warmer. First, their brain unfreezes in their heart, and then the rest of their body. And within 10 hours, the frogs are completely back to normal and ready to go on vacation. So, amphibians. Amphi means both. Bien means life. Dual lives. So basically, amphibians are both in water and on land. And of the 8,000 species, over 90% of those are, what do we think? Hey! Frogs, that's a green frog. So yeah, they're frogs. And they're very cute. And then we've got a group of frogs. Anyone know what a group of frogs is called? Yes, an army of frogs. Next on the list, we've got toads. You can tell a toad shorter legs, bumpier skin, and they look kind of grumpy. But they're also cute. Salamanders. So is it Appalachian? How should I say it? Appalachian? The Appalachian Mountains are a hot spot for salamanders, as you probably all know. You have the highest concentration of salamanders on planet Earth. So I am super excited to be giving this talk in this space right now. They're fascinating creatures. They can regenerate limbs and even organs. And you have a very special salamander that is only found in this region about 20 miles south of here in a small valley. What is it? I'm so sorry, but it's this one that I'm referring to. This is the hickory nut gorge green salamander. I do know about the hellbender, and I talked to 3 of my Uber drivers about the hellbender, and none of them are here tonight. Unfortunately, due to commercial development and logging and other threats, these are in serious danger. They are nearly going extinct. But North Carolina does have a plan. They are on a mission. They have gone in, and conservationists have taken 15 of these salamanders to the North Carolina Zoo to establish a population, to get breeding going. Yeah. So why do we care? We care because they're little climate heroes. Senna can speak more to this, but like any salamander or any amphibian, we are dependent on them to keep this ecosystem going, and without them, this system could fail. And beyond that, they deserve to exist, and they were here first, if you catch my meaning. All right, newts. Real quick, all newts are salamanders, but not all salamanders are newts. That's because salamanders is broad and newts are a family. They're going to be a little wordy, and they're also cute. Next. These are Sicilians. Not Sicilians, but Sicilians. They are not native to Asheville. You'll find them in tropical areas like Southeast Asia, Central and South America, and South Africa. Yeah, but so since you won't see them here, let's take a closer look, shall we? Yeah. So interestingly, Sicilians have developed an interesting way of caring for their young. So instead of milk, like a mammal might provide, or going and catching prey and bringing it back to the nest like a bird might, the Sicilian, specifically the female Sicilian of the Kenyan type, allows their young to scrape off and eat a layer of their own skin. Cute? TBD, TBD, TBD. Right, that concludes all the amphibians, and after months without a heartbeat, right, the weather warms up, the rain begins, right, and they begin to thaw, and they start to think about mating and laying eggs and migrating, mating. And in order to do that, they have to go and find a vernal pool. Does anyone know what a vernal pool is? Vernal pools are temporary, seasonal wetlands that fill up with water, and then they're completely dry by the summer. And these are great for habitats because they lack fish predators, so that their young has a chance to grow. So after they're looking for these vernal pools, right, they have to cross roads. So this is where road ecology comes in. Road ecology is the study of highways and roads and their ecological effects on the environment, and amphibians especially, and turtles and things like that. So they're crossing these roads, and they have to find these vernal pools. And that's where I come in. That's where volunteers like me come in. The Hudson Highlands Land Trust enlists volunteers like me to document weather conditions, traffic patterns, do a count of the kind of amphibians we're running across, and how many we help. We are just helping them cross the road. So this is what we did in 2024. We helped 7 species on their spring migration, 820 amphibians were saved. Yeah. So essentially, we're doing real life Frogger. So, climate change. You can do it too. So I don't know much about here, amphibian migrations here in North Carolina. I do know that there are programs you can volunteer with, but up where I am in the Hudson Valley, this is how it goes. So they basically happen in late March, early April, when the temperature rises above 40 degrees and it's raining. Those two things have to exist at the same time. And you'll have a night of sometimes hundreds to perhaps almost 1,000 amphibians crossing, and this includes frogs, toads, peepers, salamanders. And these nature enthusiasts like to call this big nights. So, contamination. If you're going to be out doing this, or even if you're going to be out just, hiking between, or just exploring between wetlands, you're going to want to wash your boots between wetlands. So there's climate change and there's the car situation, but there's also this chytrid fungus that I was talking about, and you can spread that between wetlands. So you want to wash your boots. You also want to wash your hands. First of all, you'll want to wash your hands to protect them. They are cutaneous. They breathe through cutaneous respiration, which basically means that they breathe and drink through their skin. So you'll want to protect them. No lotion, no bug spray, no, what other things? Hand sanitizer, yeah, that kind of thing. And on the opposite side of that, you will also want to make sure you wash your hands after. Both frogs and toads alike will secrete these different things that will cause some harm. You might pick up a toad and they might have this milky white substance that is meant to burn or sting the mouth or eyes of predators, and you wouldn't want to rub your eyes after that. So washing your hands after. So the other thing you want to do is acclimate your hands to the pond water in the environment. So that means once your hands are clean, before you start handling amphibians, you're going to want to stick your hands in the environment that you're in to get that pond or wetland water on your hands already. If you're using gloves, I don't use gloves. I prefer to use bare hands. But if you are using gloves, you'll want to make sure you wash those gloves at home. And then when you come, you'll also dip those in the environment. And they can only be nitrile gloves. No latex, no powder. Again, they breathe and drink through their skin. This is what you need. So high-vis clothing, I have that very jacket. It's warm because, it's going to be cold out there. Water-resistant pants and rain boots, layers, flashlights, headlamps, a phone or clipboard, but I use my phone. As when you looked at all those numbers that we're documenting, there is a piece of paper you can write these things on and put them in a Ziploc bag, but every time you pull that thing out, it's getting wet. So I just put it in my notes app on my phone. And then a bucket. Sometimes there's just a lot of them, and you're trying before a car comes to grab as many as you can. But how do you grab a frog? Senna, do you want to demonstrate? And Matt? All right, so surrounding me. All right, so we got this frog, all right, or toad, or a salamander. We've got this amphibian, who is LGBTQ, and we're going to, so basically you want to show how you're going to do this. Oh, and this is what you might wear, but I really suggest something warmer. And you got your headlamp, all right? So you're going to do it with two hands very gently. Their skin is super sensitive. First, you're going to anticipate which way they might jump. So you're going to put a hand in front of the frog as you have one behind them, and then they, boop, and you cup them. Thank you so much. Oh, and look at this sweet guy. He's so muscly. So Which direction is he facing in? This way. You will want to take them in the direction that they are already headed. So when you come across the frog, toad, salamander, and they're going this way, you continue to carry them this way. Don't pet the frog. Don't risk your life if a car is coming. That's important. I tend to believe that frogs are cooler than human beings, but I do like my friends and my volunteer friends, so just be careful. These are the things that you can do locally. You've got tracking. So the HERP mapper is not an STD map. You can download that and a couple of other apps that I know of to document. So herpetology is, and reptiles, yeah. And you can report on your observations. You can also do the calling amphibian survey program. So this is cool. This is a survey where you listen for frog calls, and they'll train you on the different calls, and then you report on your findings. And then you've got Conserving Carolina, which has events all month, every month. So you can check out what they've got. And I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more volunteer opportunities. Volunteering changed my life, and I highly recommend it. It will make you feel like you're a part of the circle of life. And if you can do it, please do. Thank you so much for the talk. And that's it.
A la Moraine. It's fine. All right. Oh, Matt has a burning question for Marjorie. Join me up here, Marjorie.
Just a reminder that I'm a filmmaker. Okay.
Anything you want to plug real quick? No? Okay. Matt, what's your question? Okay, why are newt eyes the favored ingredient for witches making potions in cauldrons?
I think that's because they're warty.
Their eyes?
No, their skin, and that's just my professional opinion as a volunteer.
All right. Mustard seed? It has mustard seed in it?
It's like not literally newts. Yeah, it's mustard seed. That's what I.
Oh, is that a different name for mustard seed? Nerd. See, this is the librarian table over here. Yeah. A la Moraine for the librarians. Matt has a follow-up question. Oh, God, Matt. Okay, assuming that you have a pet amphibian, would you name it Olivia Newton-John?
I think it's Isaac, but that's a good call. That's a good...
Isaac Newton. Right here. So when traversing from one hiking territory to another, what are some ways you can mitigate harm against amphibians? All right.
It's usually wetlands, so that's more of the harm there. But you can have boots that are dedicated to that, and just having some water that you can wash them off with in your car. And I always say just to have that in emergencies anyway.
Emergency boot washing water?
Yeah, no.
All right, Kathy. Where can we watch Oh Dear?
I'm gonna have a private link for that. So we're in the festival run right now. So until we're finished with that, we're kind of like keeping it a little bit. But you can follow me at Marjorie Directs. That's my directing page. Yeah.
It is on her promo page on our Instagram account, which is Nerd Nite AVL. For all of you watching at home and everybody here, Nerd Nite AVL if you're not following. So if you go to Marjorie's promo page for this month, your filmmaking Instagram is tagged there, I believe. All right, birthday table has got questions.
Oh, yeah.
The scary thing. What was the scary thing you showed us?
It was human beings. Sicilians only found in Central and South America, Central Africa, and Southeast Asia. So you're not going to see them here, but they're amphibians and they're cool, and we want them to exist. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So they're like wormy amphibians with sharp teeth? How big are they?
Some frogs do have teeth, by the way, but toads don't have frogs. Toads don't have teeth. Just so you know, teeth is not abnormal for amphibians.
How big are Sicilians?
I don't know.
All right. There are limits to what what knowledge Hudson Valley can provide you with. All right, everybody. Okay.
Do you know that salamanders can get up to 30 feet?
Salamanders can get up to 30 feet. Super Rob, the super sign guy, has a question. We can't say no to Rob.
Okay. Okay, so
I have to repeat the question. Say it again. Oh. Okay. Boo, Helene. Boo. All right. After a storm like Helene, what is the impact on amphibians? And in case you are not from the United States or are local but were in a coma last year, Helene was a giant superstorm that caused catastrophic flooding in our lovely town. So what would be the impact of something like Helene and a giant flood on amphibians?
Yeah, so the hickory nut gorge green salamander was already in danger. There used to be tens of thousands of them, and then that number, due to logging and development and other threats, dropped down to 300 to 500. And after Hurricane Helene last year, that number dropped down to under 200. And that is why they went and rescued the 15. There are 4 females with eggs that they have, and they need 10 more. So 25 is ideal for a breeding population, and right now they have 15, and they're really hard to find, and Helene devastated this area. And they're trying to look for a different area to introduce them to that won't have all of these problems. But the hope is to find those 10 more to make it 25 total, which is ideal. And also that amount won't disturb the amount that's already, they won't hurt the wildlife by taking that amount away. That's the limit to what they can take.
All right, and then there was some very enthusiastic hand raising in this direction. Okay, what are your favorite amphibian personality traits? Like, are you more compatible with some than others?
Yeah, I guess I really like this salamander regrowth aspect, this regenerative aspect of coming back after losing something. We know
a little bit about that.
Yeah. And I also definitely like the idea of mating and living in wet environments. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's it.
Speaking of mating and wet environments, I'm single. All right. Everybody, please give it up for Marjorie Lewitt from Hudson Valley, New York. Wonderful world of frogs. And I have to advance through all your slides again. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's hear Marjorie Lewitt. Yay! All right, up next, we have the big boss man himself. So Nerd Nite is technically a corporation in that, you know, it's like a company, but it's a company that doesn't really make money because, you know, this is what we do. So Matt is actually the CEO of Nerd Nite. Oh my God, I hit the danger button. No, danger button. Danger button. See, everybody knows the danger buttons. They didn't know. I had to explain the danger buttons to them. The danger. Anyway, so Matt is the CEO of Nerd Nite Global. He is also the boss of Nerd Nite New York City. And he lives in Los Angeles, which is a little strange. But he manages to do both of those things, and he is presenting an absolute crowd pleaser. Brace yourself for the weird and potentially breakable world records. Take it away, Matt.
All right, yeah. While I'm doing this, if you have balloons in your hands, please blow them up in real time. It's important. Thanks for coming, everyone. I was here 56 weeks ago when we tried this the first time. I was really smart when we knew the rain was coming. I changed my flight 48 hours ahead of time to get in front of the storm, so I could really outsmart it. Crazy like a fox. Okay, so this is there is a version of a presentation that I have given. So in New York for Nerd Nite, we take the summer off, so we kind of do an academic calendar. We do shows every September through May. And when I come back in September every year, I give this presentation as sort of a warm-up to tell everyone, kind of give a review of weird world records that have been broken in the previous 12 months since I was last there. Then we always like to try to break one or two, do some audience interaction, give ourselves some good senses of self-esteem. I don't mean to brag or anything, but you are looking at the unofficial world record holder of longest tortilla throw ever. So pretty effing cool right here. That's right. I will say that is by far the most extraordinarily breakable world record. I doubled the record on my very first attempt. So there we go. All right, so it's important that I do this every year because also things are always changing in the world record sphere. So for example, the first time this ever happened, so in 2018, Kim had the record for the largest furthest eyeball pop at nearly half an inch. And then a mere couple of years later, we got down to Brazil, and yeah. So Sydney, good job. That is a 70.71 inch eyeball pop. If any of you could, I did not put that. I will say this: I will not start with the potentially breakable ones. However, if any of you could actually do that right now, I will just stop talking all night. Great. All right, so here we go. So important things to know. We want to give a shout out to Dolly here. She's going to get better. She's going to be fine, everyone. But the record is officially set a year and a half ago for most albums by female artists, 65 albums. Good job, Dolly. Yeah. All right. Yeah, inflate your balloons to, a reasonable amount, but, don't be a hero. Most fermented herring in 6 seconds. This could actually be achievable, but I would never, 2 years ago in New York, I tried to do this in person and then realized within the first few seconds it was a terrible idea for this reason. Only 13 ounces, but doing the Google image search for this one is much better than the Google video search for this one. So don't try to eat herring in a minute. All right, so this just happened last week and a half ago. Most people doing push-ups at 1 minute for 1 minute at the same time. This actually should be achievable. It's only 3,000 people at once. I was at the Air Force Navy game a couple weeks ago. I got all the ones in the stands to do it. They did it for a minute. So I feel that could be breakable. But we don't have 3,000 people here right now. What? Yeah, Nerd Nite loves push-ups. It's our new motto. Strength right. I can't even do that. I can't do it, right? Longest tongue of dog. I think none of you can break this unless you're confusing. Right, yeah, adorable. Very, very handsome young man. Crowded, so he's a handsome young woman. 5 inches. It's a good looking tongue. 5 inches. Zoe, good job. Yeah. Right, so, for scale, dude, surgeon's holding it. That's got to come out somehow. So finally we found the male traveler equivalent. Luckily, so a 5x4-inch creeping stone, but however, thank God, it was obviously removed surgically. So, yeah, C-section kidney stone removal. It's the newest wave. Longest kiss. So I will say we could probably attempt this tonight if we wanted. However, we all probably have jobs and things to go to on Monday, which would be necessary because you gotta make out with someone for 2.5 days. It's a very long time. So here's the thing. So question in real time: how do you drink during this? So interesting. Caveats to this. So disclaimers happen as they found out. Couples were allowed to use a toilet. However, they were required to remain kissing while doing so. So super romantic, right? And after this first happened, they decided they needed to tweak the rules a little bit. So the record has been discontinued because it's too dangerous, because the bathrooming didn't always go as well as planned. And then, longest kiss marathon has been recently implemented. You get to rest during breaks, so it's very, I think it might be almost a little too lenient. However, so after 5 minutes of rest, you can actually bank those and use it later on. So I feel like there should be a happy medium somewhere between making out while taking a crap and having a 5-minute break. So, yeah. We should, if you want to write a letter to the folks at Guinness, do that. This also happened just 2 weeks ago in late September. The fastest cycling up the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, correct. That seems like gravity is working in the wrong direction for you. 686 steps in just 12 minutes. So thank you to Australian Aurelian Fontenoy. Into the video for that one. I forgot. So the way he did, like literally, he has to sit on the back of the back pedal or the back tire and literally hop up 686 steps in 12 minutes. So I feel that's a pretty good one. Good for him. That's going to be tough to beat. Longest natural beard. Beard locks on a living person. Not dreads from the hair, dreads from the chin. A lot of work there. Just a couple hundred miles south of here, down in Birmingham. 3.5 feet of beard dreads. Back to animals. All right, so you're going to like this one. So longest tail domestic cat. That's a very long tail. That is from elbow to human hand. So we want to thank Altair for that, for going 16 inches on her tail. However, Altair has a roommate. You would expect. So Finir is very handsome cat, and that's the tallest living domestic cat. So those are the roommates that were meant to be together. That is a 1.5 foot long cat. It's a big cat. Set mere 9 days ago, we now have a new world's oldest man. Also, that means that the only way you get that title is if the current, but we're going to celebrate the current record holder instead of more in the previous one. So he's super psyched. He's a party guy. We all want to hang out with him. And that's Yao from Brazil, 113. Pretty good, you know. He's seen more things over his life than we all have, so good for him. All right, so here we go. Here's the important part. This is why we're all here. We've got 3 that we can talk about that are potentially breakable. I will say, so last night, as a preface to this, so all the bosses from around the country got together. We got here yesterday, and we wanted to do some warm-ups amongst ourselves. There was a record set a couple years ago for stacking original, in the brown wrapper, the original M&Ms. If you can stack, the world record is stacking 6. That's all. It doesn't sound like a big number. If you can stack 6 M&Ms on top of each other, you will tie the world record. We were doing it amongst ourselves for a few hours last night. We did get 3 a couple of times. I saw 4 once in Los Angeles 2-3 years ago. I've only seen 3 a couple times. So on your own time, if you want to stack some M&Ms, it's got to be the brown original because peanut M&Ms would never work. That would be ludicrous. All right, so here we go. This is we're not going. This one we're not going to type. This one you can all do in your in the lovely farmland around Asheville, North Carolina. So you need some heavy horses. Who has access to heavy horses? I don't know. Someone's got to. How do you pull in? Who's got access to an antique wagon? Hey, anyone have antique wagon access? I don't know if you find one. So if you have an antique wagon, you just need to get 63 horses together. I feel that's not too hard, but they should be heavy horses. I do not know what a heavy horse is between a non-heavy horse. Don't shame them for their girth. But I feel that's achievable, so let's take a look at that one. All right, so here we go. Everyone, you're all sitting next to a person, I think. Most fist bumps in 30 seconds. It's these fine gentlemen. 273 fist bumps. Shadowed the record by 50% a couple years ago. If anyone, can we try it? Yeah, can you count with the partner? Yes, but it has to be done with the partner. You cannot bump. You cannot fist yourself. On your marks. Honor system. You've got to count. Got to count yourself. 30 seconds. I think. Right. Yeah. 30 seconds. Honor system. Count with your partner. On your mark. Get set. Go. 15 seconds. 6 seconds. 2, 1. Time's up. Oh, tort. Nuts. You'll see. So, did anybody break 10? Then he break 110. What did you get? St. Petersburg Nerd Night bosses, 206. You do not win anything. Congratulations. Hey! Hearty sense of self-satisfaction. Oh yeah, we have the video for this one. Right. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Work smarter, not harder. Yeah. There's still time. All right, you get the picture. They did a lot of them. Good job. All right. We can circle back now that you know the proper double fisting technique. Yeah. All right. Now you know. All right. Double fisting is allowed. All right. Next one, we've got 1 down, 2 to go. You can all stand up. So this one, I'm an inflexible male. Look at that. So I feel like just as I tried the first time, is this plieing? Ballerina, is this a plie? What's a plie? Is that anything? Oh, bending. All right, so if any of you just want to give it a shot, the record, it's officially 171 degrees. It's not even full 180. I feel if someone can do this right now. Like, I feel I'm at like 168. Look at that. That way. You gotta. Yeah, you can hold on to something. Sure. See, I feel that's a perfect 180. Look at that. Hey, this is history. Is happening right there. Yeah.
So could you bring it back to, yeah, so she wasn't actually in a 5th position. So she had her foot like turned out and like that, right? So is it both feet at the same time or is it just 1 foot at a time? Okay, fair enough. I think Marjorie wins.
All right, look, we just witnessed history. Did anyone else get it? Anyone else get it? All right, last one. So there are a lot of balloons I see that have been inflated. That is great news. We are going to, so when Vaughn was doing the introduction, butts were teased. Now butts will be utilized. Here's what's happening here. We want to know, most balloons burst in 30 seconds by sitting. We've attempted this many times. I will tell you right now that the record is 50. I'll tell you. So the question is, do you have to have bigger balloons? So I literally had done extensive research on this, and it's a very informal, squishy answer. It is a balloon should be mostly inflated. It's better to be more inflated, less, and we have found this to be practical because the more inflated a balloon is, the easier it is to burst with your butt. Because if it's less inflated, it becomes a little squishy, and there's the air shifts around. Wait, question. Is there shiny silver and gold different than a regular color? The answer is I have no idea. I bought these at not even a 99, like a 79-cent store. These are I cannot vouch for the worthiness of these balloons. So we will find out in real time. We're throwing caution to the wind here at Nerd Night Asheville. All right, so the proper technique for this, I need, who's close? All right, so we need a chair. So first we need a volunteer. Who wants to volunteer to break balloons with their butts? You raise your hand for, get up here. All right. What's your name?
Nathan.
All right, Nathan, sit down in this chair in which you will soon try to break 50 balloons with your butt. All right, now what I need, you need to turn it around actually. This is very important. This has been well studied. All right, I need 4 people. I need 4 more volunteers. You will be the balloon feeders. Come on up. Come on up. All right, and then I need a feeder for the feeder. All right, so yes, I need one more person on this side. All right, so the way this will work, and then I need all the balloons up here, over here, and over there. If you've got a balloon, bring it up. Preferably in a heap by the second balloon feeder. Over there too. Yeah, just keep. Yeah. All right, all right. I feel like we're in a good place here. How are you guys? Yeah, keep throwing some over here. All right, this looks good. I feel great about this. All right, so what's your name?
Douglas.
All right, so here's how it's going to work for the balloon feeders. Okay, so the best strategy is so you two will alternate. So stand up. Let's do a phantom one. Stand up. You will put a balloon underneath his butt. You will sit down and break it. Yep. And then the second that he breaks that, he will stand up, and then you will alternate. Yes. Yeah, don't break that. We need that one. So you will alternate putting balloons under his butt, and as the feeders, more feeders, the better. Just make sure that these 2 fine young men have balloons at all times to feed under his butt. Everyone, you probably, we don't do a lot of social media at NerdNet, as you can tell, but this is a good chance for that. So get out your phones. We're going to watch. Yeah. All right, who's ready to witness potential history? Yeah, you got it? All right, you've got to stand up and sit down real fast, Nathan. On your mark, get set, go! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5 seconds, 14, 15, time is up, we got 15. It was a yeoman's effort by Nathan. You are a great sport. We will give this one more attempt. I think we have time for Vaughn for one more attempt. Oh, yeah, thank God. All right. Who wants to try to break 50 balloons with their butt now that you've seen it in action? Oh, sorry. I'm so excited. Anyway, all right. What's your name?
Amy.
Balloon feeders, get back in here. Balloon feeders, we need you back. Oh, yeah, it's not easy. All right, yeah, the bigger the balloon, better. Do we know who's going first? All right, Tom's going first. All right, everyone, there we go. On your mark, and wait till get set. Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 8 seconds, 12, 13, 14, 5 seconds, 15, 16, 17, 18, hang on. Tavi, great job. All right. I'm proud to announce we got nowhere close to a world record of balloon breaking. However, I've got a lot to clean up. What? There's a pose. All right, so with that, thank you for being good sports, everyone. We're going to leave you with a cat jumping rope 9 times in 60 seconds. Goodbye, Nerd Night, Asheville.
All right, everybody. Let's give it up for Matt Wazowski. And all of your beautiful behinds. We're going to try to clear out these balloon carcasses. All right, well, I scooch a little to the side. So while Extra Lives gets set up, I have a special treat for you to really bring home the fact that Nerd Night is a global community. I know we say this at every show. Man, get out of my frame. Marie. We say this at every show, but Nerd Night is a global community, and so we have a few hellos from nerds around the world.
All right.
Hey everyone, I'm Ebony.
And I'm Halo.
And welcome to Nerd Night Melbourne! We love hosting Nerd Night in Melbourne. We're so proud to be Australia's only Nerd Night at the moment. And we've hosted how many Nerd Nights this year, Halo?
About 7 sold-out shows.
About 180 people here tonight, and we're super excited to share them with you today. And we're so sad that we can't be at the retreat, but
we're here instead.
Yeah,
so
here's better anyway. Yay!
Hello, nerds. This is Emily Curtin coming to you from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, where I am the nerd boss of Nerd Night Thunder Bay. And here in Thunder Bay, we live on the north shore of Lake Superior, which in Anishinaabe is Gitchigame. And you'll see this really beautiful land formation, and that is the Sleeping Giant. In Anishinaabe, that's pronounced Nanabojo. And the Sleeping Giant is this really cool geological formation. So for the geology nerds in the group, the top of the Sleeping Giant is really strong diabase sills, and the sides are a softer shale. And so this was formed 15,000 years ago when the last glaciation moved through. The glacier moved through and it carved away the soft shale and left behind those hard diabase sills. So you can see it looks like a person lying down. This is the head end, and these are the feet. So that's the Sleeping Giant. It's one of Canada's 7 wonders. Pretty cool, right? I hope you're having a great time at the Nerd Boss Retreat. Bye.
Hello, world. Hello from Tokyo.
Hello from Tokyo.
Bye.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm Andrew. I'm also Andrew. Yep. We're the Nerd Night co-bosses in Tokyo. And the fun fact about Tokyo that a lot of people don't know is that Tokyo is in Japan. Okay. There's also 4 seasons. And maybe you didn't know that Tokyo is not just a big city. If you go way out to the west, you can actually be out in mountains with monkeys. And if you keep going south and south and south into the ocean, there's actually tiny little subtropical islands that are still part of Tokyo. So anyway, I hope you have a great weekend and have a great time. Thanks.
Hi, this is Falco from Nerd Night Hamburg.
This is Julia.
We are right in front of the very famous Hamburg Harbor, which is one of the biggest one in Europe.
And we've been hosting the Nerd Night for about like more than 10 years now, and we are about to host our 35th Nerd Night next week.
Next week. And we have had pretty cool topics, and one of the coolest topics was about barf bags. The guy who has the largest barf bag collection in Europe was on our stage.
And we also had someone who talked about funerals, and she wore a t-shirt saying, "I put the fun in funerals," and she told everyone everything they ever wanted to know about funerals. So it's really cool. So we are enjoying it a lot. Hello to Asheville.
See you soon. Have fun at the boss retreat.
And all the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Around the world. Now, everyone, please take your signs, courtesy of Super Rob the Super Sign Guy. Wave them high, wave them proud. And we are going to say, hello, nerds around the world on 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. Alan Moraine. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for your videos. Thank you so much for being part of the Nerd Night global community. Alan Moraine! All right, so while Michael finishes setting up, I want to introduce you to our mascot, Machete Bear. Who is Machete Bear? What does she represent? So this takes us back to our very second show, in which I did a Star Trek mini feature called Ferengi or Alpha Bro. So for those who are not as cool as me, Ferengi are an extraordinarily misogynistic, greedy, money-driven, hyper-capitalist group of aliens in the Star Trek universe who are basically the worst of humanity and indistinguishable from modern-day podcast bros, essentially. So I did a series of slides where I would show a quote like this one, "Females and finances don't mix," and I would ask the audience, Ferengi or Alpha Bro? What do you think? Ferengi? Let's see.
Females and finances don't mix. Rule of acquisition 94.
That's a stupid rule.
All right. All right. So that one was a Ferengi, and you know, that was a feature. We had lots of those. And then we got to a particular quote. Let's see if you can suss out who this is. "There's no female alive that would stand a chance against the immense power I possess." Let's see if you're right.
There's no female alive, even with a machete, that would stand a chance against the immense power I possess.
Even with a machete. But if you notice, he did not specify a human female. And thus, Machete Bear was born. So who is Machete Bear? She is resistance. She is standing up to bullies. She is immense power, with or without a machete. And she's available in sticker form at the door. Printed by Super Rob the Super Sign Guy. Yay! Oliver! $3 at the door. I highly recommend them. They're adorable, like she is, and high quality. All right, Michael, how you doing? Ready to go? All right, so we're going to do a switcheroo. Yeah, go ahead and switch the HDMI. We are gonna do a little technical switcheroo from my laptop to his. They're gonna smooch each other. And for those of you who have never heard of Extra Lives, Extra Lives, created by Michael Cole, is a choose-your-own-adventure live musical experience based on nostalgic video games from all of our collective childhoods, adolescences, 20-somethings, depending. We have all generations here. And Michael is a super supporter of Nerd Night. He was supposed to be here last year, and he was unavailable this year due to a prior commitment, which frankly made me want to just yeet myself off the Blue Ridge Parkway because I was looking forward to it so much. But a miracle happened. He suddenly became available, and I just very gently begged over a period of months. And he obliged, and he's here tonight to provide you with a completely unique experience. He's here for one evening only, just for you. All right? So please give an extra special welcome to Extra Lives.
Give it up for Vaughn, everybody! All of frickin' Marie! All right, here's the deal. Raise your hand if you have ever in your life experienced an Extra Lives experience before. Literally one of you. It's gonna be epic. Okay, I don't want to say too much. Also, we have somewhat limited time tonight because I want to condense a story into about an hour. So we're gonna speed through one of my shorter stories. Now, a few things y'all need to know. Thing number one, I have prizes. This is an interactive experience. You'll get a chance to vote, but there will be a few other opportunities to participate in ways other than merely voting on your smartphone. And when those, what's up? Yes. When those opportunities emerge, you'll have an opportunity to call out from where you are. I'll be asking specific questions. I'll need a volunteer. If you cannot be heard, I also have the mic up here. Totally good. And those who participate will be entered to win tonight's grand prize, which is an ancient technological relic, the likes of which have not been seen in North Carolina in roughly 30 years. Who will go away with that grand prize? We'll find out. Two other things I want to say. Thing number two is we have a number of stories that Extra Lives tells around the world. In fact, all but one of those Nerd Night bosses have hosted Extra Lives around the world, which is pretty freaking cool. 3 continents. But some of our stories are ones in which it's not possible for the audience to get a game over and lose. Tonight is not one of those stories. It is possible to get a game over and lose tonight, so vote well, vote carefully. And thing number 3 I want to say, thank you so much, Vaughn. Thank you so much, Nerd Night Asheville. Thank you so much, Rad Brewing Co. for hosting. You've been amazing. Thank you all so much. This is going to be awesome. Okay, a la Moraine. Now, there's one other thing. Oh, good. Excellent. So those who are having trouble voting, basically, you'll get an email. You have to click the link that says Extra Lives, Land of Eternal Spring. That is tonight's game. Yes. Can I? Unfortunately, I can't. So, yeah, I cannot make it any bigger because tech. Yeah. Okay. You know, this is the CEO of Nerd Night, and look how they behave. All right, here's how we're going to get this party started. Very good. In Extra Lives Land, we have a certain catchphrase that we all say to get the party started. It's not Alan Moraine, I'm so sorry. Repeat after me. Level. I could use a little more gusto. Level. Next level. The next level. To the next level.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 kids play video games?
I won! Really cool! I won! We're a pro gamer now! We're a pro gamer now! We're a pro gamer now! We're a pro gamer now!
But did you also know that video games
Joy!
Hey everyone! Quick note before we start. What you're about to experience is the world's first Choose Your Own Adventure story concert. That means you are the main character, and the audience decides what happens at various key points in the tale using Extra Live's tamper-free voting technology. All you need to do is use this QR code or go to extralivesmusic.com on your device's browser. Enter your email address and zip code. Then check your email and click on the title of today's game.
Extra Lives and the Land of Eternal Spring.
We use this system to make sure our software isn't confused by duplicate voters, and so we end up emailing only the people who are geographically matched. Today's show has more than 30 possible variations, so voting is one of the most fun parts of the Extra Lives experience. But there's no pressure to sign in if you don't want to participate in choosing the outcome. Oh, one last thing. If whenever our adventure hits a decision point, you don't see the current question displayed on your screen, simply hit refresh or reload on your voting wand, your smartphone browser, and your mana will be restored. We'll take 60 seconds right now to give you a chance to log in before the show starts. If you don't make it in time, don't worry. Simply go to extralivesmusic.com at any point during the show to log in, and you'll immediately be able to vote. Hashtag democracy, baby.
Alert! Alert! There is someone among us who is celebrating a birthday. A warrior called Jess. Happy birthday, brave Jess. Now let us all sing. We are Extra Live. Here, on a holy mission. A mystic quest. Here to lift you up. We come from the farthest corners of the universe. Far beyond the last continue. Dave, from the haunted depths of planet Zebus. Mark, from a world consumed by a great sea. Wendell, from a lineage of assassins in 15th century Florence. Michael, from a scientist's prayer in the year 20XX. We will now take you back in time. Back to when you were just a child. Extra Lives. Power up in 3, 2, 1.
The year is 21XX. Your planet is dying. Most of the wildlife is gone. Nature has receded into a few forgotten enclaves, choked between cities that heave smoke and concrete dust into the sky. The oceans will be toxic in less than 20 years. The air will be toxic in less than 10. The corporations' violent robot creations rule the world now. From cradle to grave, automatons are all you see. One night, after another brutal day, in an endless stream of days of hard labor at the hands of your cruel robot overlords, on and on without end, with no sense of time, no rest, no nourishment, no love. You drift off to sleep in the corner of your filthy cubicle in a factory. A strange dream comes. You see before you an incredible sight. Green meadows, animals running freely, and wonderful fresh air. A mysterious figure stands before you. You can almost hear him calling you. Come to this place. Find me. Whatever it takes. The world depends on it. You know one thing, and one thing only. You must find this place. You must escape. Jolting awake, the sweat on your neck mingles with the ash and dust of the previous night. As quietly as possible, you creep from your cell and make your way out of the factory, braving the rough streets of your failed metropolis for the first time in your life. You can only hope the years of abuse and punishment by your robotic masters have made you strong enough to fight your way through. You finally reach the end of the street. An abandoned discotheque stands between you and the river. You've heard rumors about this place. It's dangerous. Do you go inside, or try to sneak into an open air duct nearby to escape the robot's notice? One way or another, you must get to the river. Press A to enter the abandoned discotheque through the front door. Press B to sneak through the ventilation shafts.
Okay, is there someone in the audience who'd like to persuade their fellow voters to go through the ventilation shafts? That's not how it works, Marge. Marge is over here being like, yes, do it. Is there someone who would like to make a parliamentary argument to enter to win the grand prize on why the entire audience should vote for, when I open the voting, the ventilation shafts? Anybody? Would someone like to speak on behalf of going through the front door? Oh! Come hither, come hither. Come up here. Stand on the X if you can and give the people your first name.
Tess.
Tess, everybody! Fortune favors the bold. Tess, tell the people what they should do.
Go through the air shaft because that seems like a 101 cliche.
101 cliche! Thank you, Tess! Do we have a counterpoint in the audience? Does someone think we should go frontal on this? Okay. Oh, come hither, come hither. Give this person a round of applause. It takes courage to get up here, folks, and these people might win a sick prize. What's your first name? Catherine, everybody.
So I think we should go through the front door because you said it was a discotheque, right? Yes. So there could be a potential for a dance-off.
There could possibly, potentially, maybe be a dance-off. Give it up for Catherine and Tess. Let's vote, folks.
As you creep toward the door of the abandoned nightclub, you hear the whirring of robots within. They sound fast and dangerous, so you decide to travel light. You open your satchel and remove a crumpled up mask, placing it in the shadows by the entrance of the ventilation shafts. You hear a creepy noise issue from within, and feel a little more confident about taking the front door instead. There is only one other item in your satchel: blue dancing shoes. You take them out and equip them on your feet. You take one last look at the mask, hoping it'll prove useful to someone else trying to escape, then enter the abandoned disco.
Just ahead, you see an opening in the side of the building. But to your horror, the river is 6 stories below you. You can hear the whir of buzzsaws behind you. You're trapped. It's only a matter of seconds before they capture and disembowel you, like every other piece of organic matter found on this side of town. You're gonna need to jump. You jump. The rushing water meets you just as you remember to hold your breath. After a cold, terrified moment, you come to the surface. Treading water in the current, you look up to see the kill robots standing in the opening in which you stood mere seconds ago. They watch you silently, unable to follow, but regarding you with quiet malice. You swim away from the doomed city. This river must lead to the sea.
Due to time constraints, we have to hurry through this scene. It is a long and very pensive and emotional scene. Enjoy Dire Dire Dogs from Mario 64 on 8 times speed.
You wash ashore in an unfamiliar land. The sun is shining, and a gentle wind begins to dry your clothes. You look around you and see nothing but the vibrant colors and natural beauty of a forgotten world. You find yourself puzzled, and even slightly uneasy. Where are all the robots? Your blue dancing shoes are soaked through, but at least the dust and dirt from the abandoned disco is gone. You put them back in your inventory and equip normal shoes. Ahead to your right is a deep ancient forest, teeming with lichen and trees, and the sound of 1,000 creaking nanorobots. Only they cannot be nanorobots. To your left is the base of a small mountain, a lonely winged life form, too vibrantly colored to be one of the Overlord's drones, flies overhead in the mountain's direction. Your back is to the sea. Which way do you go? Press right on your joypad to journey into the forest. Press left on your joypad to take the mountain route.
Who will speak on behalf of heading right into the forest? Thank you, Tess. Okay, this human being, come hither. Give this person a round of applause as they make their way up. I'm loving the participation. This is frickin' great. What's your first name, friendo? Kathy, everybody.
Okay, so if we go through the forest, what are the odds of an unlikely animal friendship?
I like it, yeah. Thank you. Give it up for Kathy. And we have at least one Nerd Night presenter who agrees. Right. Who here thinks we should take oh, this person didn't even need to be asked. Someone shouted the word husband. This is literally Kathy's husband, so. Oh boy.
My name is Kathy's husband. And humidity sucks, so we're gonna go up to the mountain where it's cool and dry.
Kathy's husband, everybody. Let's vote. Believe it. Right, exactly. Everyone has to pop balloons with their ass now. All right, I'm gonna close my eyes. Make some noise if you think we should go to the mountain. And make some noise if you think we should go to the forest. Okay, forest it is. Valiant effort. Kathy takes it.
The mountain looks beautiful, but a different kind of nature calls. You gather your courage and walk into the mysterious forest. Even though it's dark, you've never seen so much color in your life. Every shade of green imaginable surrounds you. Rich browns, reds, and yellows dot the forest floor. This place seems old. Older than you. Older than the elder who disappeared shortly after you were born. More ancient even than the robots, who, according to your tightly controlled education program, have ruled the planet since the dawn of time. You walk for many miles alone, surrounded by other life forms, but somehow safe. They are keeping their distance. A heavy mist descends, making it difficult to see. Suddenly, you reach a clearing at the edge of the forest, and the mist begins to dissipate. You find yourself face to face with a horrible, black-clad figure. They stand in your way, hoisting the largest blade you've ever seen. They seem too tall to be human, but they're definitely not a robot. And they want to kill you. You triumph in combat over the mysterious assailant.
Hola, Moran!
Kneeling on the ground, the life force is draining out of them. They remove their helmet to reveal a face much like yours. They're whatever you are. Their mouth begins to move as if to utter their last words. They take a deep, labored breath and say,
I have been waiting for you.
The attacker begins to address you with kindness in their voice. To your amazement, their wounds heal before your eyes, and you recognize their face from your dream the night before.
I am the guardian of this land, and you are the traveler I've been waiting for.
They notice you eyeing their wounds as they fade and disappear.
You're wondering where I get this power. I get it from here. I get it from the land, from the well of renewal.
You stare at them blankly, trying to understand.
Buried deep within every continent on this world is a fountain, a wellspring from which all life is sustained. As fares the fountain, so goes the well-being of the places and people around it. The well on this continent is hidden beyond the reach of human and machine, in a place conquerors would never find. I would gladly give my life to defend it, just like my forebearers did. That is how this place, my home, got its name, the land of eternal spring. It will never be polluted, because we won't let it. We call the place from which you came the land of iron. Many centuries ago that was a compliment, but now it refers to the hardened will and lack of compassion its final human leaders had.
The Guardian shakes their head sadly.
The surest way to pollute any well is to corrupt its caretakers. Your ancestors' superstitions and continual obsession with profit led them to mine the depths of that continent, where they found the well. First, they drank of the water and were thankful, but before long they took it for granted, taking and tainting and buying and selling without care, until the spring eventually dried up. The day the last drop evaporated, well, that was the moment machines took over. There is a way to restore your land's previous splendor, if only I had the courage to leave my post. But you, human, you are strong. This is the stone of rebirth. It contains a powerful blessing that can cleanse the scourge of abuse and depredation from the well of renewal. Take it.
They hand you the stone, seeing the look of sudden determination in your eyes.
There's an airship in the field just behind this hill. I cannot guarantee your safety after you leave this land, but you may borrow my craft if you'd like.
Stunned by their generosity, you look around your body for something to give them. You have nothing of value but your beloved blue dancing shoes. You offer them to the Guardian. The Guardian nods silently as they accept your gift, then ushers to the hill behind them.
Go now, traveler,
they tell you.
The sun is beginning to set, and you don't want to get caught here at night. It's wild in the land of eternal spring.
With one last nod of gratitude, you make your way behind the hill, preparing to head back to the only home you've ever known. As you reach the airship bay, a strange-looking creature blocks your path.
You look like you could use some help,
the creature remarks. Are you from the land of eternal spring as well? You ask innocently.
No,
the creature replies.
I'm from the most beautiful, relaxing place in the world.
You give the creature a blank stare.
You know, Island Paradise.
Your blank stare deepens.
Have you ever played the hit choose-your-own-adventure game, Extra Life Summer Vacation?
You say nothing.
Well, you really should sometime.
An awkward pause ensues. So, were you gonna give me a health potion or something?
Right, health.
The creature holds up a vial containing a bubbling red liquid. You reach for it.
Not so fast. First, you must answer a question. What item did you leave behind in the land of iron?
Type the answer on your voting wand. We have 60 seconds to press Y.
Correct.
The creature seems pleased.
You know, I never could find a good accessory for my snout. I should check one of those out.
You nod as they hand you the potion. You bring the vial to your lips and drink deeply. Your HP and mana have been restored. In fact, you feel stronger than you've ever felt in your life. You wave goodbye to your benefactor, step onto the airship, and fire it up. You land on a lonely strip under cover of night, just outside the city limits. You'll need to travel on foot to avoid the Sentinel's notice, so you hide the airship behind an outcropping of rocks. As you look across the wasteland toward the city, you find yourself viewing your homeland with new eyes. There's nothing green in sight. Everything is gloom and gray. Other than the faint lights and mechanical whir of robocars on the city's superhighway in the distance, there are no signs of life. Only rock, ruined soil, and metal. The voice of the Guardian echoes in your ears. This truly is the land of iron. You notice sweat beginning to pool in the back of your neck. Strange, you think, in the chill night air. But then you remember one of your very first duties in forced labor detail, 15 years ago. Every day for months, you were sent out alone to bury small explosive contraptions in the gravel just beyond the city limits. The work was dangerous, and your robot guardians didn't want to risk endangering themselves, so they made you do the job. You wonder whether the ordinance was meant to keep someone from getting into the city, or merely to keep anyone from getting out. Either way, you now understand your anxiety. Between you and the city gates lie hundreds, perhaps thousands of lethal mines. You'll need to locate and bypass them, or at least detonate them safely enough to clear a path through the wasteland before you're detected. You kneel and carve a grid of 30 by 16 squares in the dust, then get to work. You reach the city in one piece. The streets are eerily quiet. No one is around. It's time to search for a way into the inner sanctum. You already know where the discotheque leads, so this time you opt for the ventilation shafts. As you creep toward the duct entrance, you catch a nauseating whiff that makes you reconsider. But just as you're about to turn away, something dark and small catches your eye. It's your mask, still crumpled against the side of the building. Thanking yourself silently for the foresight, you grab the cloth mask, secure it tightly over your mouth and nose, and enter the ventilation shafts. reach the end of a long hallway and find a service elevator. It looks like it hasn't been used in years, but it still appears operational. The door is open. You step inside and find only 2 buttons, up and down. Which will it be?
Remember, it is possible to get a game over and die in tonight's story. Who will speak on behalf of looking down? Or pressing down? Who will speak? We have a human being there. Come forth, come forth. We love it. Someone from outside. Hey, and they're wearing flannel. We love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, give us your first name. George, everybody. We love George. George, why should we press the down button?
Well, my thought is the caretaker from the land of Turtle Springs said the well was down. They dug down to get to the spring.
George wearing a sensible outfit with a sensible argument. Who will speak? Oh, Vaughn has something to say.
I just want to say, like half the people here, George is a past presenter at Nerd Night, and he's an engineer, and I'm not, and I say up.
Vaughn says up, everybody. Very good. Let's vote. Yeah, a bit late for that now, Santa.
You press the down arrow. The doors close behind you, and the elevator lurches downward. Seconds turn into minutes. You're still going down. It's then that you notice a single word emblazoned beneath the down arrow. Core. Finally, the elevator comes to a stop. The doors open onto a long, damp corridor with almost no light. It's cold down here, and there are strange things in the dark. You've run, jumped, crawled, and climbed your way through the core beneath your city, and at long last you can hear the sound of trickling water. The well must be close. But when you turn the corner, you're met by the most frightening sight you've ever seen. A hulking automaton blocks your way in the dark chamber, buzzsaws whirring across its body. You recognize this behemoth from your re-education as a 6th year. It's the guardian of this metropolis. But unlike the guardian you met in the Land of Spring, this one isn't human. This one is responsible for the hasty disposal of undesirable life forms, especially non-compliant humans. The twisted blades slash and gnarl out of the Guardian's steel limbs. It towers above you, regarding you through its sensor with a chilling combination of indifference and hatred.
Worker 40436429112-6, you are in violation of the ban on human movement. You have been deemed defective. Prepare to be eliminated.
The Guardian begins to walk toward you in perfect tempo. Its steel feet send sickening thuds throughout the rocky chamber. You inch backward, feeling the dead space in the corridor behind you. You can still run for it. You can go back the way you came, plead your case in front of the robo-magistrates, and at least keep your life. Or you can attempt to disable the Guardian, some way or somehow. The moment is upon you. You must decide fast. Which will it be? Press L2 to flee, or R2 to fight.
Okay, folks, we have reached the final voting moment in today's show. That means there's literally 2 slots left to be entered to win the grand prize for tonight. Is there someone here who will speak on behalf of fleeing? Oh, excellent. Come on up. Oh, wait, is that Tess? That's okay. Listen, fortune favors the bold. Tess could have twice as many chances to win a really sick prize. Come on up, Tess. Tell the people they need to hear.
Are your dance shoes still wet? Yeah?
Are your dance shoes still wet? Tess, everybody. Okay. Will someone speak on behalf of fighting? Oh, someone was so... Oh. Okay, you could Rochambeau. Oh, give us your first name.
Tavi. Yeah. Now first, Tess, we don't have the shoes. We gave them to the Guardian. Because of video game tropes, there's probably a big red button on the back of them or something. Find the weak point.
Find the weak point. Tavi, everybody! Huge thank you to everybody who participated in today's parliamentary style of gaming. And now, let us vote. Tess. Oh, wow. Tess was... We got some lovers, not fighters here. No, I kind of think this goose is cooked. All right, folks, the die is cast. It is very clear. The salamander has crossed the road. The boson has become a thingy mabooby. The 100th balloon has popped. And we now know that this show is being sent to its hurtling. It's being sent hurtling towards its epic conclusion. Before I hit the R2 button, there's a few things I need to say. First of all, is George still here? Come on up here, George. And while George is making George's way up, one enthusiastic round of applause for everybody who got up here, got in front of a bunch of strangers and friendos. But George, let's be real. Sometimes the people just need to think logically, you know? It's a crazy world. Sometimes we need to recover our moorings. Face forward and don't look back. Take 2 steps forward, please. Something good's gonna happen. Do not look back. Do not. You will not get slimed. I would like no one to say anything, but I just want to hear a round of applause. If you are somebody, please applaud if you are somebody who knows what this is. Sick. George, I want you to stand very still. You got it? This will only hurt a little. Amen. George McFlannel, you are hereby the proud owner of your very own Extra Lives floppy disk. These are real floppy disks. Most of them have data on them. Yes, some of them are corrupted beyond measure. Very little I can do about that. But we literally, we had one, I'm not kidding, we had one that was labeled Star Trek GIFs. I swear to you, that could be it. It could be someone's financial records. It could be a lot of things. It could be family photos. It could be hentai. Like I said, it could be corrupted. So give it up. What's that? That's right. George said 1.44 megabytes of adult cartoons. One more time for George. One more time for everyone who participated. Thank you, George. All right. Couple things I want to say. You can probably tell this show is normally delivered with 4 people, but it was only possible for me to come this time. That being said, if you loved what you experienced tonight, would like to hear some other stories, experience some of our other shows, by all means, let the powers that be. Vaughn is the powers that be. Vaughn, you are the powers that be. But I also want to say thank you one more time to Sean, to Lem, to literally everybody who made tonight awesome. Of course, Vaughn, to Nerd Night. Thank you all so much. Like Maddie W, I tried to get here a year ago, and you know it wasn't meant to be. And I'm so touched and moved to see how Asheville is recovering. And frankly, it's great to see y'all fight. So. Normally we would do one more to the next level, but I think it's only appropriate that we have one last enthusiastic a la Moraine. In 3, 2, 1!
Using the only advantages you have, speed and creativity, you fight for your life against the corrupted Guardian. You have vanquished the guardian of the land of iron. Exhausted, you step over what was once its body. There, behind its lifeless steel limbs, is the well. You peer inside, but see nothing but hollowness and empty space. This well dried up a long time ago. You drop the stone of rebirth into the well. For a long time, you hear nothing but a faint, increasingly distant ripple of air. And then, a splash. All at once, the air around you seems to change. Ivy appears in the walls of the cavern, and you can hear the world spring to life, here and in the city up above. You turn back to the well, and to your amazement, it's now filled to the brim with life-giving water. You wonder if there's anything you'll miss about the world you once knew. It might be tough without anybody, anything to tell you what to do. But at least you'll be living. And really alive.
So much. Drive safe. Don't forget to tip your bartenders.
We're not done yet. We're doing a curtain call. It's my job to close the show. So we're just going to do a quick switcheroo back to mine. It'll be brief, I promise y'all. How amazing was that? I am so thrilled that you were able to come back this year. Jay, are we back on mine? Yep. It's not on yet. Okay, let me know what it is. Well, in the meantime, now we're good. Okay, well, in the meantime, please, let's hear it again for Extra Lives. Michael Cole, the brilliance, the effort, the 4 hours of sleep. He came from a gig last night to be here tonight, and he has to leave tomorrow. He's just here for us, everybody. And for all of you out there, he's here for you too. All right, and with that is our show, everybody. This is our closing song. And we're going to bring all of your presenters up to the stage, and I want you to give them a big fucking round of applause. Starting with Cinnabon Bone. And then we've got Marjorie Lewis. The big boss man himself, Matt Wazowski. scooch in, Matt. Scooch in a little bit. Check him out, Nerd Night NYC, Nerd Night Global, Nerd Night Hudson Valley, Nerd Night Fort Collins. And of course, our extra special guest, Extra Lives, at Extra Lives Music on Instagram and extralives.band on the web. And I, of course, have been your host, Yvonne. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper. Say peace here. Fort Collins is here. Thank you to Jay, host of Cha Cha Night Asheville, or one of the coordinators of the Cha Cha Night, I should say. You're a whole fucking team. Next show is November 15th. Be there, be square. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for next month, y'all. So excited. And a big Alan Moraine on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everybody. I love you so much. And good night.